and welcome to a brand new episode of At Home Around the World. We're happy to welcome you back after our little summer break. As we have done in the past, today we are taking you on a virtual trip to get an insight into the youth work of another country and to see how they are dealing with the challenges of the ongoing corona pandemic. And you are in for quite a treat today because we are traveling to the beautiful islands of Malta. My name is Elena, and me and my colleague Daniel are your hosts for today. Thank you so much for tuning in and enjoy the show.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Daniel, and I have the great honor to introduce you to Miriam Teuma from Malta. She's chief executive of Agenzia Zaza, Malta's national youth agency. And she has a lot of experience in the youth field. She was a lecturer in youth and community studies at the University of Malta, and she has experiences at European and international level. So welcome, Miriam. Hello, how are you?
Hello, Daniel. It's so nice to be with you. I'm fine. Trying to cope, really.
Yeah, that's great. Maybe people are keen to see where you are and where you are located. Maybe you could share your screen and show us where you are.
Yeah. So as you said, Daniel, we're the Maltese Youth Agency, and we're located in Santa Venera, which is not very far away from the capital city of Valletta. And this is the building that I work in. I mean, it's the place where the agency is. It's only for the agency, actually. I mean, so we've got offices and we also have got some workshop areas and some meeting places for young people and also for youth organizations to use. This is the outdoor yards that we have sort of to organize evening activities, and also young people gather there. Obviously, at the moment, it's still empty. It's been empty for quite some time now, since March. So yes, this is where we are, really. That's the main entrance.
And it's really,
I mean, right in the middle of the island, so that everyone can reach us.
a really, really nice building. I was there and I was impressed how nice the offices are and the surroundings. So
yeah, I mean,
so this is a normal
areas. This is the Youth Information Office in the making, because this is an old picture. It's not as it is now. I mean, so yes, this is us.
So, Miriam, maybe you could show us what you do in, let's say, normal times. So, which activities and what kind of measures do you carry out for young people and multipliers?
Yeah. In reality, as I was saying, this is the Maltese national agency. It does not take care of Erasmus Plus, but it's really there to implement youth services after school and also monitor policy, also monitor the national youth policy. So we also sort of see what other ministers are doing. I'm going to put a video on. At the moment the website with you. I mean, we do all the information stuff. We have Eurodesk, and we have the Eurodesk for Malta. I mean, this is really the website for Eurodesk Malta. We have also the European Youth Card. We distribute the European Youth Cards to all the young people in Malta for free. I mean, we have all the other generalist youth information work. And we also do a number of programs. Just go out of this and show you a little bit. We also usually do a number of programs for young people. We call them the empowerment programs. And as you can see over here, there is a list of programs that we do for young people. And when we try and look for the different niches of that young people like, and the different talents that young people have, and try to organize spaces for young people to, in a way, organize their own programs and organize, that's why we call them the empowerment programs. We also are situated we have divided the Malta in three areas: the north, the central, and the south. So we also have a group of small youth workers who work more into the community by doing really detached and face-to-face youth work in the community in the north, central, and south, and also on the other little islands in Malta. So besides that, we also support youth organizations. So we have a number of schemes for youth organizations, and these I'm just showing at the moment the number of schemes that we have. We do offer funding to youth organization, equipment, capacity building to the organizations. And we also have 2 residential spaces for young people where they can gather and organize their own seminars, assemblies, and so on. And another thing that we also try to do is conduct and commission research to try and be as much as possible to try and understand in reality who the young people are in Malta, what's the situation of young people in Malta, so that we can tailor-made more the programs according to their needs, and besides also give recommendation for new policy measures to the other ministries. So in reality, in a nutshell, that is what we do, Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you so much, Miriam, for this great overview of what your task and what your day-to-day business is. You seem to have a great overview, and the agency seems to be quite the all-rounder when it comes to youth work. What would you say in the last couple of months due to the corona pandemic? How has your work changed? How has the life of the youth in Malta changed? And what were the consequences of the pandemic in Malta?
Well, in reality, life has changed completely drastically. And as we all know and we are used to, youth work really is based on face-to-face work with young people and sort of meeting young people in groups, meeting young people one-to-one, going out on the streets and doing work and programs and big and huge gatherings. And suddenly in March, we were all locked down, even though it was not completely imposed, because over here we had a kind of a semi-lockdown. I mean, not a full lockdown like in some other European countries. And yes, all the face-to-face work had to stop, and we had to close our meeting areas, our youth cafes, our places where young people could gather and organize their seminars and so on, our activity centers and so on. So yes, life completely changed. It was, for the first week, I can say that it was, I can't really describe it. At the beginning, I thought, gosh, this is the sabbatical that I have always wanted. You know, and then you said I was a lecturer at the university, and usually at the university, lecturers get a sabbatical. And I mean, I never ended up getting a sabbatical at the university, because when my sabbatical was coming near, I moved to the agency. So at one point I said, gosh, this is going to be my sabbatical for the next few months, and it will give me time to reflect, see what to do, and so on. But in reality, that wasn't really a reality at all. You know, we have all the youth workers who want to do something. We know that the young people are out there, and from day to night, we tried to change all our services into digital services. I mean, it was really a huge task to do, but I think we managed quite well. I mean, we did a lot online, a lot on social media, and and in reality, today I look at it as a very positive thing. I don't think that if this virus did not come, probably would, even though it was always on our mind to try and work more digitally, and we have been in projects. I mean, even with um, with you, really, sort of to go on digital and to work more on digital and so on. I mean, in reality, it did take off, but not as much as now. And and yes, I mean, at the moment, we're completely working digital. I want to share a few ideas.
That would be great if you could share
Yeah,
some.
yeah. I mean, so we have had usually in secondary schools and so on, we have this youth hub where young people can gather, and now we have called it the virtual youth hub, where we get the young people still gather online and they do activities and so on online. We came up with a new service, actually, our chat and interactive space. Young people, we felt that a number of young people were feeling alone, and we got this nice space where young people could meet once a week and chat together and chat with a youth worker and so on. And two things which really were very popular and are still popular are the live programs. So we get a youth worker with some young people and discuss different issues. We spent quite a number of times, and we're still discussing the effects of COVID and what's happening and so on and so on. But we also do fun things like quizzes and so on, and then all our live stream programs. We put them on our website, as you can see. I'm not going to put them on because they're in Maltese, but as you can see, so that people can continue following them throughout the week, and then we change them the next week. We put on some online youth cafes, and we also, I don't have them in the website because we are changing all the time, but for example, an interesting thing that we had was we usually organize an intercultural week in May and try and get the different communities living in Malta together. And we had that online as well. We also have a Malta Youth Film Festival. And this time we announced the winners online. So we did a premiere, which was online, not real life. And people could follow the announcements of who got the best picture online. So yes, I mean, that's what we have been doing now. I think we're becoming a bit of experts now. It's challenging, but that's what we're doing at the moment.
That sounds really, really great. I mean, we have similar experiences here, but I followed a bit what you did on Facebook. It was really a lot what you did digitally, and I think we all can learn from you what you have done. I'm interested in how is the situation now? I understood that you're still on holiday, or you have still the summer holidays. How are young people doing now? Are they expecting that everything is going back to normal, or how's the situation?
In reality, since June, everything was, we went back to work. I mean, schools didn't open at all because it was the time when the school holidays were gonna start. We usually start the school holidays at the beginning of July. So in reality, I mean, life at the end of June, beginning of July went back to normal. I mean, young people were all on holiday. We are still on holiday at the moment. A lot of people decided not to travel, but young people started going out and some partying and so on. And I mean, and why not? This is what sort of these are the young people. And if they don't party and they don't go out in the summer, I mean, I think it gets really boring. That's how I used to spend my summers, going to swim and partying in the evening. I mean, so yes, that's how the situation after we were locked down sort of started off. However, as it is happening in all the different countries at the moment, we have just experienced a spike. I say it's not. It's the second spike. I look at it as the first spike because it's only this last week where we are getting 50 people infected and so on. Where before, even when we started lockdown, the numbers were not so huge. So for me, in reality, it's more of a first spike rather than a second spike, even though everybody's saying that this is the first spike. So yes, so we're back into trying to put measures back in place. I mean, we haven't, so clubs and so on have got a number of restrictions now. So the party can't go on as much as the young people would love to. And there are more strict measures now to try and put the spike down. But there are a number of young people who, besides partying, did loads of things during this period. I mean, I don't know whether you want me to share some experiences on what some young people have done.
Yes, that would be perfect. If you have some.
Yeah. So I have got
young people. That would be great.
Yeah. So I've got this. Let me see now. I hope that the sound would be not too loud. So we have had during the COVID time, we came up with an initiative which was called Give Back Award. So we tried to instigate young people to come up with ideas on what they can do during the COVID period and whilst they were at home. And the number of young people came up with different ideas. This is one of the ideas that one of the young people did during these past months.
Back to the community. I've been thinking about this idea for around 2 years, and I thought this is the ideal time to start working on this project. So the project is called the Sea of Time, which is a time bank where there is a community that chooses to offer their skills and services in exchange for time. So you can have one person who is offering to teach, for example, a language, and in exchange for 1 hour teaching that language, they earn one-time credit. That one-time credit can be used to purchase any other services from other community members, such as help with gardening, for example, help with planning a holiday, learning how to cook, and other skills and services. These could be related to professions, as well as hobbies, as well as other services, such as offering a car ride to the hospital, to the supermarket for people who do not drive. Right now, due to COVID-19, some people might have less income and more time available on their hands. And it's the ideal time to implement this, since this initiative can help people save money and start learning new hobbies and new skills that maybe they do not have the disposable income to learn them in normal circumstances.
So yes, so as you could see, I mean, a number of young people came up with different ideas, and we enabled them to implement these ideas. I mean, for some young people needed also some funding to implement the different ideas. This young woman here implemented this app, which is called the Sea of Time. Others did different things, like one group came up with an idea of being a pen pal, which was an old thing, which we don't really think of anymore, because today it was emails and nobody writes letters anymore. But they started writing letters to old people in old people's homes. I mean, because they could not visit people could not visit them, and people still can't visit them as much as they used to. So yes, I mean, these are different ideas that young people came up with. And another idea which we were trying together during this period was sort of we still tried to promote the talents of the young people. I mean, all of them were at home, so we tried to gather what they were doing, a number of talented young people, and after that, after we gathered 68 different young people with different talents, and sharing their experiences on how COVID-19 has affected them, this week we published a publication to commemorate International Youth Day. I can also share a little bit with you this publication. Let's see. To commemorate, in reality, wait.
Lew support ovvjament biex il-proġett tagħna ikun iktar jafu bih, ikun jafu aktar.
But here it comes. I mean, so this is a publication of the different young people on Gozo, and that was quite special because we got the young people living on Gozo to share what their talents are and also what was the experience during this lockdown. And this week, last Tuesday, we went to Gozo with this published material. We published it as an e-book and also as a hardcover book. And we went there to meet these young people and sort of celebrate the way they spent the lockdown days at home. And that's sort of, and this was the youth worker who was working with these young people and doing outreach with these young people online. I mean, she did not really meet them. This week was the first time that she met these young people face to face. So yes, I mean, these are things that we have been doing.
It sounds great, Miriam. Those are a lot of great ideas, and I think what it shows is that the last couple of months have called for a huge amount of flexibility and creativity, and what you've shown us just now proves that it was true for both youth workers or people who work in the field of youth work and for young people alike. So did you see anything that you found particularly innovative, or differently put, on the one hand, we see all this creativity and these great ideas, and on the other hand, we all basically have a strong longing for things to go back to normal and to go back to things the way they used to be. Is there anything that you would say out of these creative ideas, out of these projects, that you think is definitely going to stick with us even after the pandemic or for the future?
I think at least we are discussing this as already at the agency. I mean, sort of, are we gonna really stick to the new services that we have started, and you are right, a number of youth workers are, I mean, yearning to meet the young people online, face to face, you know. But I mean, we happened to have a staff meeting last Friday, sort of, where we discussed this and how are we going to proceed, especially next winter. And one thing which came out was that definitely we will keep this, and we will keep all the digital work that we're doing, but maybe it would be a nice experiment to have a hybrid of what we're doing, you know. So we can't really say that we are not really missing the face-to-face work, but having a hybrid would mean that there is still a face-to-face relationship, but the digital relationship, the face-to-face relationship and the digital relationship will work together. And I think, I mean, if we do this, probably our outreach would be greater. I mean, because what we have noticed throughout these months is that we have reached young people whom we would have never reached if we were working face to face. Especially, for example, these young people on Gozo, who would have never really reached these young people on Gozo. And now the fact that we have started off this relationship through some hybrid kind of programs, I think our reach would be greater. So definitely, yes, we are already discussing to keep most of the services that we have started along with the services that we have had.
I think that's a very interesting point. I think it's also the experience we did in Germany and also in exchange with other partners in Europe, that these hybrid formats will be the future. And you pointed out that it's really important because we really can reach out more if we use these digital formats together with the traditional. A bit leaving the national perspective, I mean, you have great experience on the European level. What do you think on the European level is important now? How can Council of Europe or the EU help the youth work in the national situations to more develop these hybrid formats?
In reality, at the moment, I think we're still researching to see what's happening. I mean, which, to be honest, that's the first thing which should be done. Really find out exactly what's happening and sort of do proper research to see what's happening and the impact and the effects. And that this is what the Council of Europe has been doing since we started, trying to gather all the good practices, trying to research and find out what's happening. And at the same time, there has also been some financial help through the Youth Foundation and so on. The European Union, in a way, is doing the same. So yes, first we need to have knowledge. We need to have the evidence to see what has happened and what do we think would work. I think after that, yes, we have to try and then come up with new strategies on how to continue using the work that we have started off. I think the most important thing at the moment is that we do not lose contact, that we still keep in touch, because there is this, in a way, kind of feeling that once you stop meeting, I mean, that kind things would start sort of shriveling. So we need to really keep in touch, which we have been keeping in touch online. But as we all say, I mean, online might not be the same. So even in the future, hopefully in the coming year, some of the meetings would be hybrid meetings as well, having small groups of people meeting and then a bigger group meeting online, and having a mix of face-to-face and online meetings, which in the past we were only organizing face-to-face meetings. But the idea of having less travel, having some online meetings, but also the need to sometimes really get in touch is one of the most crucial things, I think, at the moment.
Okay. So what will you do first when really Corona is over? When we have a vaccine next year, hopefully, and this situation is over? What is the first thing you do personally?
I haven't been on the plane since end of January. So I've been stuck on the islands since then. I don't know whether I would be on the plane. Probably I'll be on the plane before this Corona thing would be completely over. But yes, definitely, that is what I would do first, really. Go on a plane. I really need to be on a plane. Go on holiday, but not only on holiday, but continue the very fruitful international work. I mean, it has always given me the energy to meet other people, other cultures, it's be able to speak about the different ideas and so on. And no matter what, I mean, it's nice to see you, Daniela, online, but it's also nice to have a firm handshake, and it's also nice to have a hug. And these are the things that I really miss.
Absolutely. That's the same for me. And I miss Malta. I mean, I've seen this beautiful picture of Gozo, and I really want to be there and drink a kini, because this is something you can't buy here. And eat the wonderful food you have. So I really miss that too. So thank you, Miriam. It was great to have you here. It was really good that you showed so much insights, what you have done in the last weeks. I think Many people can learn from your experiences, and hopefully we can meet again physically in the next month. So thank you very much, and have a great summer, and hopefully we see each other back soon. So bye bye, Miriam. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you.
Yes, Miriam, also from my side, thank you very much for talking to us today, but more importantly, talking to the audience that we're having right now. Before we say goodbye for today, just a brief look ahead, because we already have another great episode of At Home Around the World lined up for you next week on Thursday, August 20th. We will be talking to colleagues from the Ukraine, so be sure to save the date and tune in next week. Until then, stay healthy and happy. We are looking forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you so much for tuning in, and goodbye.